relaxed conversation that I hope that could spark the biggest ideas. So I'm Ajahn May and I will be your host this afternoon. Thank you so much for joining us and we are so happy to have you here. This session brought to you by the Center for Life Integrated Learning or CLIL at Mahidol University. We are responsible for general education and lifelong learning, and we are here to make learning more accessible, meaningful, and flexible. So if you are an educator or expert who passionate about learning, teaching, and knowledge sharing, our center is here to support you. And our topic today is, are you ready? AI, new skills, and the future of work. So AI is it's like a buzzword nowadays, right? So AI is changing like everything, like how we work, how we teach, how we need to learn, and how we grow professionally. So today we are going to explore how we educators can stay ahead by building the right skills for our students. And today we are thrilled to welcome our two speakers from Coursera, a global leader in online education and workforce development. We have Swati, Customer Success Manager at Coursera, and Jasmine, Regional Manager for Coursera for campus in Southeast Asia. So both Swati and Jasmine, they have been working with Mahidol University, and they've been working closely with many universities and educators across the region. So let's give them a warm welcome. Feel free to drop a smile emoji to welcome them, please. So Jasmine and Swati, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Ajahn Mee, and hello everybody at Mahidol University. Thank you for making time during your lunch. We absolutely appreciate the space that you're making for us to speak to you a little bit today about Coursera, our online learning solution, and most importantly, AI skills and really how that is really impacting the landscape. So before we jump in, I want to just introduce ourselves one more time just really quickly. So I'm Jasmine. I've been working with Coursera and Mahidol University for a number of years now. And basically, I work with governments, businesses, and campuses to really help grow learning and learning culture using Coursera. And I'll turn it over to my colleague Swati to introduce herself and what she does, which is really, really interesting.
Hi everyone, I'm Swati. I work as a solution consultant in Coursera and I work with universities and government in the Asia Pacific region, both South Asia and Southeast Asia. So in a nutshell about what I do at Coursera is I work with universities, faculty, students and government institutions and help them envision how learning can happen through Coursera by best utilizing its product, content, and the features that we have. So that's about it. I'm really excited for our session today, and I will hand it over to Jasmine.
Sorry, I just had a problem finding my button. Give me 1 second just to share my screen. One of the challenges. All right, so you should be able to see my screen coming up here. That's just us on the slide there. And the theme of today is Mahidol University, are you ready? And we will be looking at AI skills specifically. So before we begin, let me just give an introduction to what Coursera is before we dive into the AI skills. So I understand that many of our attendees here today are subject matter experts, possibly faculty. We may have some students in the mix, in a sense this is a lunchtime talk. So we'll be trying to mix up different pieces of information. At the end, if you have questions, feel free to ask us. But of course, thanks again to the Center for Life Integrated Learning, CLIL, for organizing this for us. All right, so Coursera, you may already have heard of us. We're pretty visible across the APAC region. But if this is your first encounter with Coursera, I think what's really important to note is that we are a very large global platform. And what that means is that we have, I would say, over 116 million learners on the platform. And those learners may include people like yourselves who are subject matter experts, faculty, or students who have been provided access to Coursera by your institution. But we also work with businesses, so banks, tech companies like IBM, for example, automobile companies like Ford, software developers, and other companies like Adobe, for example, to work and understand what kinds of skills they need to make their workforce and employees future ready and competitive today. And we also work with governments around the world, from all across Latin America to East Asia, to understand how populations will need, I think, different skills, new skills to cope with the changes that are rapidly kind of like evolving on our landscape. So that's us. And you may already know of our 350 so partners on the platform. Partners meaning the people who create the amazing content that you can study on Coursera. And that really ranges from companies like Google or Microsoft or IBM to universities on the platform. More about that later. But I just wanted to give us a little bit of perspective, I think, on what is happening at Coursera and why us having 160 over million learners on the planet is an important fact, okay? So where we are in Thailand today is that we have approximately, I would say, like 1 million learners on Coursera today. You may be surprised to know. What we're seeing is that because we're able to help learners bridge this opportunity gap in learning, that may not be easily provided by other providers or physical in-person providers, we are seeing a huge demand across these markets like Thailand and definitely within Asia. Since the topic is AI today, I wanted to point out that actually more than half of our courses in generative AI enrollments are coming from learners in a rapidly growing markets, which includes countries like Brazil, in India. And we are also using AI to translate thousands of our courses into over 20 languages, which includes Thai, which we will speak about a little bit later on as well. All right, so that's just a really quick snapshot of Thailand and enrollments. And so on this kind of like pop-up here, you'll see that in Thailand, many of the learners that we have on Coursera are pretty young. The median age is about 32. We have an equal number of women and men learning on the platform, and many learners learning on mobile. So it is also available to learn on mobile if you feel that making time on your laptop or at your desk is restrictive. You want to learn on the go in bite-sized format. Coursera also makes that possible. So if you didn't already know, Mahidol University has been a partner with Coursera for quite some time now, a few years. And if you are interested, and if you're a faculty member who wants to use Coursera content in your courses, you can please contact Ajahn and the Center for Life Integrated Learning to help you out there. All right, so this is what we're looking at in terms of the number of learners. So that's growing year on year. And why I think this is so important to us and why we're here today to talk a little bit about, I think, AI skills really, and maybe specifically generative AI, is that we can see, right, our research shows that companies around the world are just zooming in on Gen AI's value potential. Right, and the possibility is enormous. Countries can stand to add up to, I would say, 15 trillion to the global economy by 2030. And about 6.6 trillion of this increase is expected to come specifically from increased productivity. Right, productivity, it's a big word, obviously. But why this is important for generative AI is that although it is relatively new at this point, it does have advancements that are impacting different markets, different sectors, and different businesses. And developed economies have this dual challenge. Many are lagging behind in adopting generative AI, but they also have a large workforce, right? Lost millions of people in industries that could soon face disruption from the technology. So what that means for countries like Thailand is that AI really offers opportunities for emerging markets, to really leapfrog over developed ones. And it opens up the possibility for startups or new businesses, right, to become market leaders in the next decade. So I think many of APAC countries, and I'm based in Singapore, Swati's based in India, we're really seeing this shift, right? We're at this critical juncture where countries, companies, organizations have to seize the moment and take transformative steps to embrace generative AI and sharpen that competitive edge. So if you are a faculty member, you're a student in the crowd, I think you will also understand the impact that Gen AI is having on your daily life, living, how you're working, how you're replying to emails, how you're thinking of new ideas, how you're structuring your lectures, or even submitting assignments, right? So imagine that impact multifold, impacting companies, organizations, and in turn, countries. So that's what we're looking at today, right? The vast impact, I think, of generative AI on Asia and countries around us. So generative AI can really unlock, I would say, like 4.5 trillion in economic value across APAC by 2038. This is drawn from a report by Accenture, right? That we're in a situation where we're able to implement Gen AI and have people adopt it responsibly, I would say responsibly and at scale, can unlock this huge economic benefit in not too far away, actually. Okay, so a lot of words on the screen. Okay, so take your time to read the information on the screen. So what we're looking at today is this critical need where from our research and our understanding really is that Thailand needs, I would say, about 600,000 additional workers who have advanced and intermediate digital skills to support the growth of the digital economy. And the need is very urgent. It's by 2027. So if you're a student in the crowd and you're kind of like midway through your undergraduate degree, that is really, really very soon. We see a huge need for workers in Thailand, right? In the middle model of the slide, who, if they're using basically any level of digital skills, right, they actually earn a significant amount more against workers who do not use digital skills at work. So that is an implication for you as an individual, for the students that we're training in these organizations, and many of the employees that we're currently working with in the corporations and businesses globally. So I think we'll also speak about this later on, what we're seeing about the importance of having these digital skills and AI skills, and how employers look at fresh graduates coming at them from college, right, with their degrees. And what we're seeing is that there is such an emphasis, right, on the need for digital skills and AI skills that many employers are willing to hire a slightly less experienced candidate who has these critical digital and AI skills over somebody who has more experience but doesn't have these skills. Right, so this really is from an AWS study here. And here, this is from the 2024 Work Trend Index annual report from Microsoft and LinkedIn. So if you are interested, you can go read more about that. But this is really just us emphasizing the importance, really. The good news is that Thailand is already focusing very heavily on AI literacy, as Thailand is obviously really, aiming to become a regional hub. And this, of course, again, is really, really crucial because this can actually help us to narrow the digital talent gap and actually unlock, I would say, about in Thai baht, probably like 1 trillion Thai baht in value by 2030. So Mahidol University is doing the right and the amazing thing to promote this AI education and skills, and helping learners and faculty to capitalize on these opportunities. Right, so this was a snippet we've taken from The Nation. So well done. Okay, so here is just a quick overview. As I said before, we have about 1 million learners, I think, learning on Coursera in Thailand. Right now, it's projected to reach about 1.1. That was projected to reach 1.1 million at the end of 2024, and I think we've actually crossed that. And the number of enrollments was projected to be close to 2 million by the end of 2024. So we have lots of different learners in Thailand learning, of course, on their mobiles, as I mentioned, across different kinds of content. What we're seeing here, these are the kinds of skills that a lot of students are seeking on Coursera across Thailand. So on the left hand, you're seeing a snapshot of the top skills by enrollments globally. So that's from a snapshot of our, millions of learners. And then on the right, you'll see the top courses by enrollments globally. So maybe if you're faculty in the crowd, you're a student in the crowd, you're going to take a snapshot on this and see, okay, these are the skills, the hot skills of today that our learners are interested in. You can see obviously the skills are in data analysis, machine learning, some business skills like leadership and management, software development, obviously marketing. And these are some of the really, really top courses. You'll see a lot of Google hanging out there, along IBM and deep learning. So one of my personal favorites, I don't know whether Swati will mention her favorite, is the AI for Everyone by Deep Learning AI. Fun fact, because the CEO of Deep Learning, Dr. Andrew Ng, is also the co-founder of Coursera. Him alongside Daphne Kohler started Coursera many years back when they were both, or when they were still are, but professors at Stanford universities. So very, very cool. I'll leave it up for like maybe 3 more seconds if you're interested to take a screenshot of the top skills. Okay. So the next thing I'm just going to show you briefly is some success stories. I mentioned at the beginning of my little chat that Coursera works with businesses, companies, governments globally, and I have 2 stories come up here. So this is just a quote from the Senior Director of Applied Machine Learning at Adobe. I'm sure many students here and faculty use some of Adobe's products. It's extremely popular, ubiquitous really. And we know that Adobe is a leader that's focused on changing the world through digital experiences, right? And what they're using is AI and machine learning to drive innovative capabilities across applications. I'm sure that you've experienced one of them. I myself am definitely no design genius, and I find that Adobe's AI-enabled tools help me do these things so much faster, easily, and more creatively in recent months. So given the importance of AI, Adobe needs its engineers to understand how to bring AI into applications and projects. And engineering talent is in high demand throughout the technology sector. And so Adobe decided to focus on empowering its existing workforce with additional AI and machine learning training opportunities. So what they did was that they decided to adopt Coursera and work with Coursera to provide this in-depth AI and machine learning training to thousands of their engineers worldwide. And the company chose Coursera, similar to why Mahidol has chosen Coursera, because of our scalable online learning platform and the high quality curriculum. So Adobe offers AI and machine learning courses that focus on practical coding and also project-based learning. And these are currently optional for Adobe engineers. And the result was that Adobe engineers spent over like 130 hours completing Coursera courses. And of the engineers who completed courses, about almost 70% of them said that Coursera had improved their knowledge of AI and machine learning. And 50% of them, so half of them, have actually used their learnings to bring new ideas to projects. And hundreds of them have used AI ideas incorporated into product development. So this is just a really I would say a very incisive example of how Coursera is impacting a technology company that really brings to market products that you and I use on almost a daily basis. And you, of course, have the opportunity to learn on Coursera as well. There we go. So there's a snapshot there at the bottom to call out what I just mentioned. The engineers who saw that there was an increase in their AI and machine learning knowledge and how that was helping them bring new ideas to projects. Right, this is another company which I'm sure you'll be familiar with, the Ford automotive company. And we know that automotive industry is changing really, really rapidly from gas to electric vehicles to battery operated. And now we also have autonomous vehicles. And so many of these automotive companies need to reskill and they need to upskill employees. So Ford had this challenge where they needed to upskill their global data and insights and analytics and product development teams. Sorry, very, very, very big phrase there, but the insights and analytics and product development teams, they needed to build better customer experiences, right? It's a really competitive market, and they basically wanted to become more software and data engineering minded. So this is a very common challenge. It happens across Asia as well, obviously, when companies need to become more customer centric and they need to have insights from the data that they're getting from the field and put it to better use and serve their customers better to maintain or grow a competitive edge. So way back in 2017, Ford actually launched this Coursera program to help employees build these skills in areas like cloud computing, artificial intelligence, programming, software engineering, machine learning, and data science. And since then, the outcomes have been staggering. Employee skill attainment has just been, on the up and up, bearing in mind that they've been in partnership with Coursera since 2017, so that's a number of years. And Ford has actually seen an 87% increase, right, in learners proficient in machine learning. And they actually are in the top 95% for machine learning compared to companies in automotive on Coursera. So when you think about it and imagine someone who's been in the field I would say with some good experience, they've been in the field a number of years, how do we get them to embrace current trends, current technologies? This is definitely one of the ways by offering them structured, impactful upskilling and reskilling programs. So 4 teams have basically been consuming this content at Coursera and generally speaking, find it very satisfactory. So again, so it's not just the learners. If you're a student in the audience wondering, why do I have to take this course in Coursera? Because really, this is brought to you by your faculty, your instructors who really see the value in helping you close these learning gaps and making you really ultimately more competitive in a very, very dynamic landscape. Okay, so very quickly, I'm just going to show you a snapshot on the kind of support. I understand that many learners prefer learning in multi-language mode. So you may like to learn in Thai, you may like to learn in English also, or your instructor might have a preference, or if you're a faculty member in the audience and you're interested. So we actually have a number of our courses translated right into Thai, meaning that we have subtitles available. We're also currently working on making even more pervasive translations available throughout the experience. And you can also use Coursera and the UI in Thai language as well. Right, costs have come down a lot for us, and we're able to do that for many, many learners. And these are some of the most popular courses that have been translated in Thai, like Yale's Introduction to Psychology, my personal favorite that I mentioned, AI for Everyone by Deep Learning, and of course things like English for Career Development and Google's course for Foundations in Data. So if you're not already enrolled in one of these, I highly encourage it. And again, you can ask the Center for Life Integrated Learning for support. Great. I mentioned already that we do have a Thai-enabled UI on the platform, so for better ease of use. And at some point, hopefully, we'll be seeing the next use of AI and seeing synthetic dubbing, and hopefully that will be with us in the next few months. We do also have a very nifty little chat buddy or learner support buddy. We call it Coursera Coach, where you can ask it to help you and check your understanding. For faculty members in the audience, I would say this is also very helpful from an instructor's point of view, where you can work with Coach to actually recommend kinds of questions that you might want to pose to your students to structure your tutorials. If you're a student, Coach will function for you very differently depending on the kinds of support that you're seeking from it, and help to structure and really scaffold your own learning. Right. I mentioned that we have lots of world-class faculty who are creating courses on Coursera. This is just a snapshot. The bottom right here, as I mentioned, Dr. Andrew Ng, our co-founder, and of course, we have other great instructors on the platform from colleges and universities all around the world, like Imperial College London, University of Leeds, Oxford University, and so on. Right. So really, I think the essence of our conversation here today between Swati and I is really that we're here to really try and help learners all around the world to bridge that gap, right? Talent is out there. Opportunities not necessarily equally divided amongst everyone on the planet here. And we're hoping to use AI to turn these challenges into change. And we want to use these tools and work together to figure out how we can accelerate the opportunity for learning and also the rate of learning. All right, so I'm going to stop there. Said a lot about Coursera, and I'm going to ask my expert colleague here, Swati, to talk about the importance of AI skills, all right, and why you need to have these AI skills. So I'm going to stop my share and let her take over. Over to you, Swati.
Sorry, I'm a bit new to WebEx, but are you able to see my screen?
Yes.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Jasmine, for wonderfully setting up the context and introducing us. And I'm really happy to see how Thailand is already progressing in building the AI skills as a nation. Today, what I would like to do with the time that we have today is to take you through the new reality that we have been keep hearing and we are experiencing at this moment, which is to introduce you in depth to the era of AI. I know we are standing at the cusp of an incredible transformation that we have been seeing in the couple of years, that is artificial intelligence. As students and as faculties, you are or we are at the we are the pioneers and we are at this new frontier. So what I would want to do is we will delve into why it's crucial for us or as you as students to acquire skills in AI, ensuring that all of us are not just participants in this revolution, but we are shaping the AI world. All right. So before we delve a little bit into AI, let's look at the simple fact that as technology over the years, what we have seen is it's growing too fast for any of us to keep up with it, or our human abilities or our human adaptability has remained relatively steady. But as you can see, the rate of technological advancements has always been skyrocketed. Has it always been the case? Or let's look at some of the scenarios on how long it took some of the major technologies to get adopted by the users. So as we can see here, it took telephone at least 90 years to reach 100 million users, or it took 90 years for us to get adapted, or at least a minimum of 100 million users to start using telephone. What about the next big technology, which is electricity? It took us 70 years. How about car? We would have thought, okay, car would have been adopted too fast, but it took cars 60 years to be adopted by 100 million users. The next large technology that we saw was mobile phones. By the way, it took only 16 years compared to other technologies for 100 million global users to start using a mobile phone. How about internet? It took 7 years for most of us to start using internet. Now, finally, what I would want to share is AI, or something that we've been hearing, which is ChatGPT. I think that's how AI got popular amongst all of us. It took ChatGPT only less than 2 months to achieve this milestone. What does that tell us? As you can see, while prior innovations like telephone, electricity, or car took years to get adopted, in the past years, what we are seeing is a very fast rate of change, with could be the combined forces of new technologies coming in constantly, or it could be globalization, it could be automation, but all these forces are working together to bring in this fast adoption amongst us. All jobs and industries are going away, and we are seeing new ones are being created. So this is just another way of saying that what we think of as work, or what we think of as, okay, let's get skilled, is constantly changing. And you as faculty and students need to be aware of that reality and be ready for it. So let's just look at some practical scenarios and think about what does this mean in our daily lives. Say, if you see from employment or in our education sector that you're studying right now, or even mental health, every single aspect of our society is being influenced by these technological changes. For example, AI, when it came, it says it can automate jobs. Or when internet came, those technologies are automating jobs, requiring us to constantly upskill and reskill. Think about, okay, what are the skills that we have? What else should we have? We need to keep on changing and adapting to these changes. As humans, I know we face several challenges in keeping up with this rapid change. But let's just see, before we delve into AI in itself, whether these changes that we are seeing are these unprecedented? Have we seen this before? How did we cope or adapt with these changes before? As you can see, Andrew Ng, who is one of our co-founders, and Jasmine has already mentioned, who is one of the leading experts on AI, said this in 2016, that AI is the new electricity. What does that mean? Just how we adopted to electricity or internet yielded the transformative benefits for us. Initially, we were skeptical when these technologies came in. Is internet going to replace my jobs? What am I going to do? Or even calculators. Initially, I think educators were a bit skeptical in introducing calculators, but it's now an integral part of our society, right? So similarly, this is how we should also look at how AI is going to transform our world. But today we know generative AI is just a general purpose technology. We are using it for few things. But like electricity when it came or internet when it came, we don't know where this is really going. We don't know the impact and the implications of AI because we don't fully understand its applications or the threat that it might give us, or how do we mitigate the threat that AI is going to bring us. And the only way to really figure that out is that we start using it responsibly and collectively as a group or as a team. You should also first understand, I know technology can automate jobs, but you should also accept that the opportunity of generative AI or AI in general that we are seeing now is not replacing jobs with automation. In fact, automation is also likely to create more jobs for us. As you can see on the screen, there has always been a precedent that historically, whenever there has been automation, it has created significant improvement in employment opportunities as well. Let us take an example of, say, bank cashiers. We see tellers or cashiers in the banks, right? When ATM came, they were really skeptical whether it would take away the job of cashiers. But what happened really is the rise of ATMs gave more time to focus on higher value offerings to the customers. Similar is the case with how when computers came, how would have the job of accountants or lawyers would have changed. We still see lawyers and we still see accountants, right? We're using these tools to build and enhance the capabilities of the accountants and lawyers. So what I would want to try to inform or encourage you is, while you are embarking on this journey of AI, you should also adopt the mindset that AI is here to stay. It's already here. So what we can do is to leverage and learn to leverage it for our growth and benefit. And you should start now, because I'll tell you why that is the case in the next slide. So this is a screenshot that I have taken from one of the latest Future of Jobs report from World Economic Forum, where they are talking about the top high demand skills that are going to be there by 2030, which means if you are students, you'll be graduating and you will be in the workforce before that. And it says that AI and big data top the list of the fastest growing skills. And it is followed by, as you can see, networks and cybersecurity as a top skill. You can also see technology literacy as one another skill. But it's not just technical skills. Be mindful of that. To complement these skills, you should also build in your creative thinking, your resilience, flexibility, agility, curiosity, and lifelong learning. So what the industry or if students are there, your future employers are prioritizing is a blend of technological proficiency, where you know what are the new technologies that are coming in, and combine it with human-centric skills. So you can also see, notably, almost all the top skills that we would see are some way or the other directly linked to artificial intelligence and its applications. So as students, or for students, if faculties, they're acquiring these skills, I don't think it's not just about securing jobs. It's also about preparing for a future where AI is going to be integral, like internet was integral in solving complex problems. AI is going to be a part of solving the complex problems that are going to come. And you have to be there to drive that innovations across domains. What I would want to do here is to delve a little bit more deeper into what are some of the AI skills, specific AI skills that are being taken by employees who are working now, by students like you, and by job seekers who are not employed, but they are looking for a job. So this snippet is taken by a report from Coursera, which is created by surveying around 5 million learners across businesses, higher education institutions, and governments. And what we are trying to do is we are trying to highlight what are some of the fastest growing AI skills. If you want to focus on skilling, what are some of the AI top skills that you need to be focusing on across these three learner categories? So let's look at employees. What are employees after AI coming in? What are they trying to do? So one pattern that you can see is across these three categories, you'll see how Gen AI tops the list, how all of them are equally building their skills in generative AI. And employees specifically, what they're doing is they're trying to build advanced AI skills like computer vision or PyTorch, which enable them to tackle the complex problems that is currently there in their company. Now, if you're looking at students, they are also taking computer vision, but you can also see they focus a lot more on building theoretical skills on machine learning or artificial neural network, feature engineering, etc. So they could be career ready when they pass out from the college and start looking for jobs. Finally, job seekers, apart from generative AI, they are focusing a lot on applications or tools like applied machine learning or machine learning operations, which would increases the chance of getting into a job and to meet the immediate job market needs. So you as faculty or as student, what you can do is to take this as an input, identify the topics that are in demand within employees who are currently working, job seekers who are preparing based on market demands, and the students who are learning across the world, and pick those topics and start upskilling in them. And it's not just about employees or students. As Jasmine also mentioned beforehand, you can also see that employers are increasingly seeking candidates with AI skills. So you can see that there is a clear trend if you look at the job postings or hiring preferences these days in the market. You'll see that there is always an acknowledgement or a line that writes that, AI skill is preferred or AI skills are required in those job openings. That positions artificial intelligence knowledge just not as beneficial, but as essential skill that you need to have, because employers are prioritizing candidates with AI capabilities. You can see they're often willing to pay a significant wage premium for these skills as well. Additionally, a lot of employers also believe that if students can build micro-credentials or professional certificates within AI, it will strengthen a candidate's job application. I'll come to what micro-credentials or what professional certificates US students can take up to build the skill in the later slides. But there is an increased preference for employers for students with AI skills. So to sum it all up by looking at the reports and what the employers want, by acquiring AI skills, you can actually make yourself more attractive to your employers, who not only prefers these skills, but they are paying a premium wage for them based on the data that we have. So what does that mean? And how are the results looking like? Because of these rapid changes that are happening, we are seeing a really high enrollment rate or growth rate of students or learners who are taking AI courses globally. As you can see, we're seeing 1,000 to 70% increase in learners, both employees, students, and government institutions taking up Gen AI courses. Some of the top courses, I think I will say again and again that you can start building on is, say, learning prompt engineering, or introduction to generative AI, or learning what are large language models, etc., from these top industry partners. And Jasmine did mention how overall Thailand is functioning, but within the Coursera ecosystem, we also see that the Gen AI enrollments from Thailand learners are also increasing. We're seeing 1,000+% year-on-year increase in the learners taking Gen AI courses. So then you might already be a part of this journey. If not, I really want to take you through how can you best be a part of this, or how can Coursera support you in this journey? All right. So you can see, so we've started building generative AI courses since 2023, and we have more than 500+ courses that are part of or that will help you build your generative AI skills. And it's not just courses, we do have guided projects as well that you can take up, which will help you with hands-on learnings. It's not just for students, it is also for faculty and other members over here. One of the courses that I would suggest for faculty is Generative AI for Leaders for Vanderbilt University. And we do have very specific courses that will help you building the Gen AI capabilities within a university and education ecosystem. And for students, we do have courses on prompt engineering. And if you are developers and you want to build in the Gen AI capabilities, you can look at, specific courses on web development and how you can use generative AI in coding and software engineering as well, from the top providers like Scrimba and Fractal, who are some of the top industry partners in this field. So we saw the overall environment of how AI is going, or how AI is moving forward, what the industry is telling us, what the global learners are telling us, right? Now, if you as a student or as a faculty of Mahidol University want to start your skilling journey within the generative AI or within AI skills, I would urge you to start with a very structured approach. Maybe you can start with understanding the foundational concepts. Try out some hands-on experience using some of the tools like ChatGPT or Copilot or Google Gemini, etc. And then you can delve deeper into specific use cases of generative AI. Say for faculty, you can see how Gen AI can be applied in an education ecosystem to better your teaching pedagogy. Or for students from different backgrounds, say for software engineering, of business, or within business, any other particular domain, you can find courses where you will use AI to enhance your experience or your skilling within that particular domain. So Coursera already has around 70+ courses and hands-on projects from industry leaders like Amazon Web Services or deeplearning.ai, Vanderbilt, IBM, Google, etc., to help you build that foundation. To take few more examples of what could that foundation courses look like, maybe you can start with Google AI Essentials and Introduction to Generative AI from Google, and AI for Everyone from deeplearning.ai. Because these are some of the courses that are highly ranked among our employees, students, and job seekers. This will help you build a strong foundation within Gen AI concepts. Now, the second aspect that you can look at is building your prompt engineering skills. Why I'm saying that is around 22% of recruiting professionals updating their job description reflect the use case of prompt engineering, be it for ChatGPT or be it for Google Gemini. So what you can do is, once you understand the foundation of generative AI, you can start working on a little bit more scientific aspect of it, which is prompt engineering, where we have courses like prompt engineering specifically for ChatGPT from Vanderbilt, or Gen AI prompt engineering basics from IBM, which are getting really popular within the learner groups. So these are essential for effectively using these AI tools to drive or within different professional contexts that you will be part of soon. The third aspect of what you can do specifically for students, and I've already mentioned that companies are looking for micro credentials or job related professional certificates that the students can build on to enhance or to be deep skilled in a particular topic. So professional certificates are basically specializations that focus on a very specific job role, and it will build your skills in that role. Say, for example, Coursera offers professional certificates in AI engineering or AI developer, specifically on generative AI engineering. Or to go a little bit deeper, you will be able to deep skill or upskill yourself in computer vision engineering, or say product manager, somebody who wants to switch into the business aspect of it. So as once you build your foundations and gain a little bit understanding of prompt engineering, you can delve deeper and build your skills through these professional certificates and industry micro credentials in very core job roles that are available within the field. And nothing goes without practice, right? So it's not just about theory. It's also about how do you practice it. So the third aspect, which is very important when you get into the job market, is to get on that hands-on practice of how to really use these models. So we do have a lot of projects available, and one of them that I would want to specifically talk about are the generative AI playground, where you will find it. I'll urge CLIL to see if we can integrate this into the curriculum, but this playground will help you practice various models that we have, like ChatGPT 4o or Google Gemini, where what you can do is you can type in, you can practice your prompt engineering, you can craft, you can text and refine your prompts and learn how to be better at prompting in various aspects. So what these projects or guided projects or generative AI environment does is this not only deepen your understanding of what AI is, it also shows you a practical way in which you can apply this technology, or how does it really function when you get into the job market. You can think of those aspects when you are actually practicing the skills through a project. So building foundational skills, getting into prompt engineering, deepen your skills through professional certificates, and then also practice through guided projects. I think this is one way in which I urge you to start building your AI skills and then be ready for the future jobs or jobs that are awaiting you. One last feature that I would want to share with you, a glimpse of it has already been shared by Jasmine in her conversation, which is Coursera not just has content that will help you build your skill, it also has been in the forefront in integrating AI into the platform, which will help you as students and as faculty to enhance your learning experience. So one of that feature is Coursera Coach. So it's basically a generative AI platform that can help as a learning partner for students or even faculty while they are learning on Coursera. So what does Coach do? So if you open a course on Coursera, you can see the Coach feature, as you can see on the screen on the right-hand side, or as a small panel. You can use Coach to help you get explanations or summaries of a particular topic. You're taking a course, say you want to understand a little bit more about that course, you can ask Coach, hey, can you help me understand what this course is more about? Can you suggest more similar courses where I can keep on building my capability in this particular topic? Or you can even ask Coach, is this course right for me? Should I take, say, as an art student, what is the best course that I should take? So you can just build on and ask a lot of questions to Coach, and it will help you or support you as a partner in your learning journey. Coach will also help you in preparing for exams within the Coursera platform. So overall, the coach platform is an AI tool that is going to support students in their entire learning journey. Similarly, for faculty, I'm not presenting it today, but we do have tools that will help you build more rigorous classroom programs or classroom courses, and also to create a more interactive learning experience for your students as well. So to sum it all up, these are some of the ways where Coursera can support you in your AI upskilling journey. So I'd say that do it now, start now. You have to be at the forefront. When Thailand is moving ahead, you should be a part of that journey. And this is how, as Coursera as an ecosystem, can support you in your upskilling journey of AI. So while I would want to wrap up the session today, I just want to remind you that AI isn't just a trend. It is becoming a foundation in the workforce that we are seeing today. And by focusing on AI skilling, you're not just be ready for job opportunities, but you are going to be the driver of a lot of innovations. And it is important that rather than just keeping it aside and moving it for a different time, you embrace it and start learning it. So I'd really like to thank CLIL, Maidol University, for your effort in investing the time for this session and helping your faculty and students understand the relevance of AI and building the skills moving forward. Over to you. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you so much, Jasmine and Swati. So that's a truly insightful session. It's quite challenging for us, right? So now we'd love to hear from our audience. So if you have any question, you can pop your questions in the chat or just turn on your microphone and share your perspective and your curiosity, please. You are all welcome. We still have 10 minutes.
Maybe I want to hear what is that one course that they saw on the session that they are going to do today. They're going to start. So I'd love to know which is that one session that you're going to start with. I'm doing Google AI Essentials. It has fantastic topics. It teaches me a lot about AI. So yes, I'd love to hear from you all.
So you can ask some questions both in Thai or English, and I will be your translator, of course. Anything?
Or maybe if there is no question, Swati and I would love, maybe they can react by raising their hand or having emoji reaction. How many of the audience here have actually enrolled in a course on Coursera? You don't have to have finished, but have you enrolled in a course? If you have, please give us a heart or a smiley or thumbs up.
I can already see hearts and thumbs ups coming up.
Wonderful. We have some excellent content. I know that Mahidol University has actually made some available to faculty. There is an excellent specialization by Vanderbilt University on generative AI for educators and teachers as well, which we think is great.